So here's another look on the anchor system in depth. Before, you would just attach an anchor, like so, and specify a size, for example, top left. And now it would always be in top left. Currently you cannot drag it, you cannot do anything because it is anchored. That's not the case with the new system. I'm going to get rid of this component, and I'm just going to anchor it using the new system. By default, currently when I turn on the unified mode, it always anchors to the closest point, which in this case is top left. Now it is anchored to top left using the new system. If I want to move the sprite now, I can do it. I can move the sprite freely and it will remain anchored to the top left corner. The values you see down here, you don't have to modify them, but you can if you like. This simply means that for the left side, it takes the target's left and doesn't do anything else. For the right, it takes the target's left and adds 100. For the bottom, target's top minus 100. Target's top minus 100. Make sense? If you happen to resize the sprite, you will notice that these values will change for you. Like I said, you don't have to modify them at all. Just modify the sprite like you normally would. Move it around, scale it, you know, exactly the same as you would interact with any non-anchored widget. If I wanted now to change the sprite to be anchored to the top right, for example, if I was to simply drag it here and then change the left and right to be based on the right instead, now it is anchored to top right. It's also important to know that the target that you specify will actually affect what you see here. If I was to make a simple game object and then have the sprite anchored to a game object, you will notice that the selection lists here are actually grayed out. That is because a simple game object does not have a width and height, so it's always based off the center. Now at this point, if I was to move the game object, you will notice that the sprite will move with it accordingly, using the value specified right here. Again, if I was to move the sprite so that it is positioned like so, for example, and now if I move the game object, you'll notice that the sprite will remain anchored to it. You can specify a camera for the target as well, and it will behave exactly the same as if you were to specify a panel on the UI root in this case. Now by default, when I specify the camera, you will notice that it started to anchor to the middle for the left side, to the right for the right side, and so on and so forth. Again, I can actually change this at any time. If I wanted it to be anchored to the top right, again, left, specify target right. For the bottom, specify target top. There it is. Now it's back up to top right. I hope this helps.